Welcome everyone to Neo Reality Collective, and this is the September 15th edition, published on in a few days. So I'm trying to test out a schedule system. Like, do I do daily or weekly? I might check the algorithm and everything. If I do a daily upload, it will be a constant upload stream, 2 videos a day now, with a random video and the Neo Reality Collective video, and then there's the massive. And then if we do the weeks thing, it will result in a massive upload, which will be multiple hours. So I'm not sure whether or not to do this. I put a poll up on Twitter for 12 hours at around 5 today at the time this video is recording. So let's get right into it. So AEW, in the world of wrestling, on WrestlingInc.com and on AEW's official Twitter account, AEW has announced that there will be a season pass for 7 shows starting September 23rd, where fans can order these passes for by contacting ticketing at jaguars.com or by calling a specific number, calling 904-633-2000, and as seen in the advertisements of Twitter's AEW account, the outdoor seats will be physically distanced or in compliance with local regulations and CDC guidelines for COVID-19. 7 events in total will be a total of $175 plus fees. And I was thinking to myself, that's a big steal, because when I went to AEW Full Gear, we spent total $700 to 2 tickets to the front row. I'm not sure how this one actually works. I think we need a little bit more detail, because when I was looking at this, I was thinking, how does this exactly work? Like, do they set an area of chairs, or is this a price by customer or something? Though this is probably just gonna be temporary, because you know they're currently locked at the daily place and they can't really go anywhere else. If they go anywhere else, it's gonna be a risk. So yeah, something tells me this is just temporary for the duration of the pandemic and all the guidelines published. So the pass running at $175 plus additional fees. It's like, that's probably a big steal. Like, you get 7 weeks of AEW television if you're living in Florida. So even though Florida is currently the most messed up state right now, very long margin. Uh, uh, this this honestly probably was trying to compensate for customers just in case, but yeah, this whole debacle with the pandemic has really shot everything up. But and plus they also had to admit that there's humidity issues that led to some issues with all out, and well, it led to a tag team match that was really good, not have the energy of the crowd because the humidity's there and there's not enough people to be a huge stealer. So yeah, we're probably talking about All Out. I do have the show. I did watch the first half until the Matt Hardy incident, and then I couldn't watch anymore because I just didn't have the energy in me to do it. So I probably will watch the last portion of it on a later date. So on Monday Night Raw, on the WWE side of things, there was a botch. I did not watch Raw, but I did see images and whatnot and some clips. But so apparently, during the match between Asuka and Mickey James looked like she was hurt. She looked like she had injured her shoulder during last night's episode. But yeah. So what was reported that by Lance Storm and Mick Foley, they said, "Oh, I've been hearing it might be a shoulder injury," but that is revealed to not be the case. Turns out it's because Mickey James is just that damn good of a seller. Yeah, it was a complete accident. The ref thought she was hurt. She was simply selling, according to Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer newsletter, and that multiple sources are saying this. Uh, so, yeah, according to Alvarez, this was just a complete botch. And I'm thinking to myself, oh god, this is WCW 2000 bad for me because I'm thinking to myself, I'm left like, yeah. And a lot of people were getting this vibe where it looked like it was very similar to the Montreal Screwjob vibe, but whereas that was internal politics destroying things of relationships and in business relationships, this was just we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. Is she selling? Is she? I can't tell. I can't tell. Even though she could have screamed out she's fine and everything, but like this is WCW 2000 level vibe for me. I'm pretty sure I'm going insane then. But now it's like, what do they do now with this? Like, do they do Zelina Vega and Asuka, or a triple threat match to compensate Mickey James because the ref inadvertently screwed her over big time? Uh, I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if the ref wasn't fired because the WWE's fired people for less reasons that make no sense. Like WWE, according to Xbox, fired one of the writers at the Hall of Fame because he wrote in the script that when Bret Hart, I believe, script about mentioning Vince McMahon, and Vince was pissed at that because, of course, what? So it wouldn't surprise me if this guy was fired, if the ref gets fired based on this horrible accident. But yeah. So she's fine. Everything's fine. Probably not the ref's job, but still fine. No one's hurt. It was just I sold really well with this move, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mickey's pissed. So Jeff Hardy has been having a crisis of sorts. So he's currently Intercontinental Champion, which is now greatly disputed thanks to Sami Zayn and AJ Styles' reigns. But the problem with this feud with Jeff Hardy is that, well, okay, so Jeff Hardy's had a rough year last year. He relapsed. Horrible stuff happened. He had an injury, and his health was really in question, and people are wondering what's going to happen. And then WWE, after he came back, kind of didn't help the situation when they started referencing his alcohol and his demons and used it for TV purposes and had him get beaten up every week. And people speculated that might have been because Matt Hardy went to AEW and they wanted to punish Jeff Hardy for it because it's Vince. He's vindictive like that. And heck, Jeff Hardy even was told do a shot on Matt, like saying Matt deleted his career in WWE and whatnot. But he doesn't say the name. He just says, my brother. And then they did another shot where Jeff Hardy collapsed. They thought he had a concussion. Then they said, oh, he's just dehydrated. And I was like, ha, 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 ha. Matt Hardy almost died, you piece of shit. And all that nonsense. But, yeah. Jeff Hardy came on to an interview, sat down with BT Sports to discuss the current run he is and the new path on his life. And the interviewer noted that Hardy has had new energy about him, looks happier than he ever been, and Hardy credited that to his sobriety and new outlook on life. It's definitely to be through the struggles of addiction and alcoholism and to be sober now and experiencing everything because I've been here before. I've done sober runs in the past. I've never completely committed to it and surrendered to the whole idea of me having a problem, but that's a huge part of it. Getting in trouble with the law is no fun, and I hope and pray that's over because when I said when I first came back, this is my last chance to get it right. And that is so true. I can't screw up again. If I do, I'm done. I think that's what brings such happiness, and I have my family and everybody in my family is healthy. Again, I thank God for that every day, and I pray we can continue on this happiness that we're on, but things are going to happen. Trials and tribulations, it's just human life. Living day to day, just one day at a time, has been huge for me. I think that's a great way to live, even outside of recovery, because you never know what tomorrow comes. After the passing of Chadwick Boseman, which was a shocking moment for the world, following a 4-year battle secretly with colon cancer, Hardy noted his passing affected him deeply and inspired him to be a good person in his life. When I heard what happened to Boseman, suffering from colon cancer for 4 years, it inspired me knowing he held that secret for so long. I saw he would go to hospitals and visit 6 kids. It touched my soul. I want to be an example and a good, overall kind person. So, yeah, Jeff has been having struggles with this for years and years. WWE usually likes to take advantage of those problems and hey, let's turn it into a storyline. Now, I didn't have problems with the CM Punk stuff they did because Jeff at the time was clean for years, so you had a hard time believing that he would probably relapse. Then he did an Impact with the infamous. Yeah, let's never talk about that. It just involves Sting, but when he had come back, when he came back, they were going ahead and doing the whole thing, referencing the alcohol, the addictions, the car accident angle, and I was like, WWE, you don't really care, do you? He could literally stay with WWE, never go to AEW. You don't care. He's just someone you want to wants to milk for everything he's worth, and then dump him when he's done. Is that the mentality you're going with? Like everyone, a lot of people I talked to hated the Jeff Hardy storyline they used with Sheamus because it was like it's too soon. He had just come back, and they're already taking the real life issues that he was going through for the past year with the injuries and the car incidents and the drinking and everything, and bringing it up on TV, and everyone feared that this could lead to a relapse. And of course, WWE is WWE, so why do you think they would care? So we're left with this horrid. We were left with this horrid angle, and I was wondering what the end game was. It led to a bar fight, and there we are. And Jeff Hardy's now IC champion. So yeah, no idea what the direction goes after this. I get the feeling it's going to lead to a triple threat match heading into Clash of the Champions. Hoping it's a ladder match because it's Jeff Hardy's style. But yeah, Jeff, I really do hope he makes it through this and can end his career on his terms and not be forced to end it because of disasters. So, at AEW All Out, there was a new concept created by Chris Jericho, because of course it was, called the Mimosa Mayhem match. Bring me my mimosa! Where Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy would fight, where it would end with either a pinfall or you dump the guy in a huge tub of mimosa. So, Chris Jericho's wet dream in recent years. So, Chris Jericho after the show and losing it and whatnot, because it clearly means he will never win any gimmick match he creates. Money in the Bank, oh, you gotta lose that match. You're never gonna win it. Mimosa Mayhem, lose that match too. On Wednesday, September 9th, it got revealed on the 15th that Chris Jericho filed to trademark the Mimosa Mayhem name on Wednesday, September 9th. The first ever Mimosa Mayhem match took place at AEW All Out on September 5th and saw Orange Cassidy defeat Chris Jericho in singles action, knocking Jericho in a large vat of mimosa. A competitor could also win the match by pinfall or submission. There's no word yet if AEW plans to use Mimosa Mayhem down the line, but Jericho now owns the rights to the name. He has filed the following goods and services use description of the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and they have taken advantage of the memes of the Mimosa Mayhem, which is fun and hilarious. But yeah, oh man, there's some Instagram posts he posted about the concept of the Mimosa Mayhem, where on Instagram he posted a picture of some of the idea. And what Chris Jericho described, saying this in the description: here's the original drawing of my idea for the Mimosa Mayhem match that I sent to Tony Khan on July 20th. Almost 7 weeks later, we made this outlandish idea of a fun and exciting and brand new reality. Thanks to our incredible team at All Elite Wrestling who helped make this wild idea come to life. Jazzwez and Jeremy Padua, let's make a play set. So, yeah, apparently Jericho wants to make this a toy. 100 different things can be done with that, but whatevs. But yeah. As much as I know that maybe they should start trademarking their own stuff. At the same time, I was like, I like it because AEW is letting the wrestlers own what they create. Like, Image Comics nowadays doing the creator own stuff instead of owning every single piece of thing that's ever created in their company as part of the lucrative deals. So it is fun to see AEW be very lenient on what could be a profitable thing, but could also come back to bite them if Chris Jericho went somewhere else. Now, for the foreseeable future, Chris Jericho doesn't look like he's heading back to WWE, and he's not leaving AEW anytime soon. And I'm pretty damn sure that New Japan Pro Wrestling will never do a Mimosa Mayhem. So unless Impact Wrestling is interested in Chris Jericho, yeah, that's the only place I see it ever happening. So, yeah, Jericho owns the rights to this name. Uh, I would love to see the match again, probably. I haven't watched it, but I just love, like, I know we all like the realism and the insanity of wrestling, but I miss the insanity of wrestling where you can do the insane things. Like when I hear the saying that it's not realistic, Daniel Bryan can't beat Brock Lesnar, even though we're in a world of wrestling that has a dead man walking, a man who controls fire, person who's been burned alive. The man who controls fire has been burned alive and somehow survived, and last but not least, the Undertaker's mere existence. A being with transdimensional powers, pocket dimension control, and everything that Luke Harper was. So I'm thinking to myself, it's kind of okay to be insane a little bit in wrestling. It is a form of escapism. So, yeah. So Jericho owns Mimosa Mayhem. Let's see where he goes with this in the future, provided he doesn't drown himself in it. So, as part of WWE's continued use for the Thunderdome, it's been reported that WWE officials are having talks about what to do when the contract expires for the residency of Amway Center in Orlando. It's reported today by WrestleVotes, a Twitter account that reports news, that a small team that was put together in the last week or so to figure out if running WWE television's outdoor venues would be feasible for once. The Thunderdome home contract expires at Amway Center. The idea is that both Raw and SmackDown will run from the same outdoor venue each week. Everything is still up in the air, and there's no word on what the outdoor venue might be, but they are hoping for somewhere in the southern U.S. with good weather. WWE's contract with the Amway Center is scheduled to run through the end of October unless the contract is renewed. It looks like their final 4 dates will be Hell in a Cell 25th, Raw 26th, and SmackDown October 30th. There's no word if WWE will be bringing the Thunderdome concept with them to the next venue, but Duncan Leslie, WWE's Senior Vice President of Event Technical Operations, has talked about using the unique setup in the future. So, yeah. WWE's Amway Center is only temporary. Too bad they don't have AEW's kind of benefit when they have, the Daily Palace that's owned by Tony Khan, so they can use it indefinitely. So, it is curious to know where they go with this. I've talked about the Thunderdome, and I'm just left. In theory, it's a good idea. In practice, it's because of certain people being horrible people on the internet and loving attention and trolling. But if they do the outdoor venues, would they do the crowds like AEW's doing, which means WWE's copying AEW, but no one's going to talk about that. But yeah, so the idea of this becoming a possible future idea, it would be kind of interesting to see the Thunderdome outside the WWE events, but at the same time, it probably won't be able to work outdoors because there's like a bunch of variables that could go wrong. Like, what if there's bad weather, and what if the electrical systems go out? So they might lock that away for a little bit, and if they can do an indoor arena, if they get a new deal, then they'll go back to doing that, and then so on and so forth. Yeah, I have not experienced the Thunderdome in person, and probably won't for the foreseeable future. I'm just not interested. Miro admits he's concerned about WWE taking his AEW promo out on Lana. So Miro made his AEW debut last Wednesday, cut a passionate promo about brass rings. During the recent appearance on Busted Open radio show, Miro explained what that meant for him to let that frustration go that he'd been harboring for the last 10 years and how he's looking forward to a fresh start with a new company. You gather feelings over the years, and if I'm on Twitch, I'm usually always positive. I never talk about bad about somebody just because don't stone anybody. We've all done bad stuff, right? It's just a certain time you put your heart and soul into certain things, and you just don't feel like it's coming to fruition for one reason or another because Vince is an asshole. It was just so disheartening over the years. I had to, and thankful for Chris Jericho, I didn't have to. But I went to and saw Chris before that. I told him kind of my idea, and he's like, "Oh, you should say that about the brass ring." And I'm like, "No, I don't. Do I ask for permission? Do I ask for forgiveness after?" He's like, "No, dude, you don't have to ask for anything. You just go ahead and do it. It's a good promo." And Rusev and Miro says, "I was so shocked because I'm so used to different styles." There, called it. That. I called it. I called it. I told someone that maybe Miro wasn't used to this new style because he's been in the WWE system of how they operate. So when he's in a place that says, you can do whatever you want on the mic, just keep in the realm of not getting us thrown off the air. So I was right on that. It was very important to me to say that because I meant all these things. Miro continued. Over the years, I gathered all these emotions. I needed one little second to express my frustrations for the past 10 years, and now let's move on. Let's forget what we did. Let's forget everything. Let's start AEW Dynamite, the best man Miro, Kip Sabian. Now let's go ahead and kill whatever we can. And while he got his real-life wife, still works for WWE, and went on to discuss about Alana possibly getting punished for things he said on Dynamite. Rusev's response was this: absolutely, but at the same time, I feel like they should be a professional and they should treat it as what it is, and it's nothing personal. They always say it's nothing personal, it's a business. Hopefully they do treat it as nothing personal. It's a business because that's what it is, and I just hope that it won't hurt her, and I really do hope, and I've been thinking about this for a long time. It's definitely something on the back of my mind, but I know and I pray that everything will be fine, because I feel like we should definitely move on. It's 2020, for Christ's sake. And Miro went on to mention that he and Lana working for rival companies is not the ideal situation, but it's not awkward, thank God. He knows that they just roll with the punches, and more than anything, it's just an adjustment period for their schedules together. It's like you wake up and you go to work at Starbucks, somebody wakes up and works at Dunkin' Donuts. It's the same thing, it doesn't matter, it's a job, but there's no animosity or anything like that to come with it. I love my wife, I'm going to do anything for my wife. Is this the ideal situation? No, it's not, but sometimes life takes you in a different direction, and you just have to roll with the punches. It's hard because we've known each other for 7 years, and we've probably been together 99% of the time, flying, driving, sleeping, much to fans' chagrins and anger, and wrestling and everything. So it's kind of a taking an adjustment period. Thankfully, she has bundle of joy. She travels with her. She keeps her company, and I have little pickles, and we have our little separate companies so we could keep each other sane at times. Okay, I'm pretty sure that transcription went wrong, but okay. So yeah, Rusev Miro, as he's now known, did admit, yeah, I did think WWE will screw Lana over because how dare he go somewhere else, even though I'm the one that fired him. And there is a possibility Rusev got COVID-19 when he got it because Lana got infected, because it did seem odd for a lot of people that WWE told people not to talk about it because it would look bad. Because, oh no, the warning, the public health and safety. Oh! Okay. Like, I know there's also saying personal medical records, but still, these are public figures, and if they get fans hoarding over them, they gotta have to do something. But considering how Lana's family members got infected, apparently, and Rusev got infected, it's probably safe to say Lana was probably infected for a time. But WWE was like, shh, don't mention it, or you're fired. I will fucking ruin you. It's that sort of thing. Unlike Renee Young left. You don't know how that worked out. Another piece of news, the WWE title match has changed at Clash of the Champions. It will now be an ambulance match. So, Yeah, it was announced that it would be an ambulance match. Boo. But then the producer Adam Pearce interrupted McIntyre's promo and revealed that Drew may end up defending his good against his friend Keith Lee at Clash of Champions. Why not just do a triple threat match? Pearce announced that if Orton is unable to get cleared in time for Clash of Champions, then McIntyre will have to face Lee. If Lee can defeat McIntyre in tonight's non-title main event. That main event ended in no contest as Retribution attacked both of them during the match. So, ambulance match, even though I would love a triple threat match because, let's be honest, Keith Lee's awesome and I demand his theme song back, but I'm not going to go and destroy everything about it and say he got buried because of it. I'm giving it time. I give it 2 months. And if they somehow keep Keith Lee's momentum up in 2 months, then I will take back what I said about this. But it's Vince, so I have my doubts. So there is another piece of news I heard regarding the ending of Raw. Wrestling showed this. Let's see. So originally the plan was Mickie James versus Asuka to end in an Asuka lock, and the match was called earlier. And yeah, so I don't know what the end game goal is. This it's just talking about how that was the original plan, but yeah, Mickie James is too much of a good seller. It seemed. So let's move on. DC Comics Spoilers 2021 Generations Future State #1 to Retail 5G. So DC Comics, since they've been publishing every Tuesday, have their new comics coming out, and it came out that DC's big Generations event has been changed with one of the stories in Batman Detective Comics 1027. It was announced that Dan Jurgens' little tie-in story to the Generation series that they're planning to restructure looks to be either having a name change or Generation Future State #1 launching in 2021. So I was like, is this part of the Generations Shattered series or the Future State series? It's like changing, so it's in this state of flux. Dan Jurgens looks like he's going to be involved in this project. I've been reading his Action Comics run. Yeah, you can't see that. I'm in the way, but yeah. Yeah, Batman got recruited by Kamandi and Booster Gold for this big mission. I'll probably talk about that short story at a later date in a video, but let's move on. I am curious to know what the end game of this. Like, it has to connect with the DC universe. It may not be a full-fledged reboot, and relaunching of the lineup, but it has to mean something, or it's just a DC Black Label story, but they're not calling it a Black Label story. So we'll see how that goes. Like, artwork was reused and repurposed for the one shots coming out in December with the death metal tie-ins. And another report come out that Black Widow is likely to be delayed again due to the COVID virus. And yeah, and after Wonder Woman was delayed to Christmas and looking like it's going to be delayed again probably. Black Label is, Black Widow is kind of looking like they could also be delayed, including Dune 2020, so that sucks. So we're gonna have to see where this goes. Like, I haven't watched the last movie I watched was Spider-Man Far From Home. I haven't made a video about that yet, but I gotta really catch up on that. But yeah, but probably for the best since, well, we don't want more infections. We don't want more people getting sick, so yeah, nothing wrong with that. Or they could just do the Mulan route and just release it on Disney Plus. So the upcoming Eternals book has revealed that in issue 2, Thanos returns. So will arrive at the B-Devils Marvel's hopeful next breakout stars in Eternals #2. Most fans will need a little introduction. Okay. So, yeah, it's been revealed that the Mind Titan has returned in the aftermath of the Eternals' death. Icarus goes up against Thanos in the heart of a sea twisted by time, reads Marvel's official description for issue 2. This epic battle will be explored in Eternals 2 and will reveal the monumental role Thanos will play in this bold new version and of Jack Kirby's classic Marvel creation. So, yeah, Thanos was killed by his older self a few years ago because comic books. He was last seen during Donny Cates' Guardians of the Galaxy run, in which his spirit possessed the body of his brother Star Fox. So it looks like his upcoming appearance will be making his flesh and blood return. So, Thanos is back. I didn't even know he was dead. And I'm just left wondering, what happened again? Well, like I said, I'm more out of the loop with Marvel's continuity as opposed to DC's continuity, because DC has no continuity right now, but yeah, the Eternals versus Thanos in the epic cosmic war to come. Even though Thanos was teased at the end of the first Thor run of Donny Cates with the Black Winter, revealing Thanos will have an Infinity Gauntlet power Thor Mjolnir with the Black Gauntlet that contains the Black Lantern ring where he commands the Marvel zombies. That's awesome, and I demand a Black Lantern crossover. So, yeah, Thanos is back, everyone. There was much rejoicing. Whatever. Also, Wolverine issue 8 of the Dawn of X era is being renumbered to 350. Why? It's a milestone. I get that. Yeah. So I'm a little tired, but I've been up all day. But yeah. Why? Why is this a thing? Like, why even relaunch issue numbers? Why not just stop it and then go back to it and go back to the current number it was at? Wouldn't that make more business sense instead of, hey, launch a new #1, because that makes more short-term sales for a long-term problem? Like, wouldn't it be best to have 1,000th issue? Like, that's what Action Comics and Detective Comics did when Rebirth relaunched everything. But Batman, Superman, they were already close to the 1,000 issue before the New 52. So why not go back to those numbers? And Wonder Woman went back to 750, and then Flash went back to 750. Still a confusing milestone, but yeah. Wolverine is now in a total of 350 issues, so yeah, now you're like, well, wait, but then where are the 8 issues? Like, you didn't number them that, even though there's a legacy number, and yeah. So it also mentions that this will be a special extra-sized issue and will be both a celebration of Logan's history and a perfect jumping-on point for new readers. Yeah, because these issues in the Dawn of X era is clearly what Hickman envisioned. So, yeah. And it also teases Percy has also teased the return of Mad Ripper, and Maverick. So Logan Paul's coming. Run. In fact, Logan, just shred him. Adamantium Rage! Oh, big news! Mandalorian Season 2 dropped today, and we're getting Jedis, Tusken Raiders, and everything. And one of the biggest highlights of this trailer was Sasha Banks! Yeah, so there's speculation that Sasha Banks could be Sabine Wren. Hoping that's not the case, but wouldn't surprise me. Or she could be a Jedi. because we did see her in the trailer. Just she look at Mandalorian, whatever his name is again, and then disappear. So, yeah. And we're probably going to Hoth on this ice planet that's falling apart because they're trying to build the Starkiller base. So, boo. And, yeah, we see... Sorry. We see more craziness in Tusken Raiders. Also, Boba Fett's scheduled to come back, so that's pretty damn awesome. So, yeah, Disney Plus tends to drop The Mandalorian Season 2 on October 30th, so now we're left in the ultimate conflict. Do we stay home and watch Mandalorian Season 2 all day and miss Halloween, even though Halloween's most likely canceled? Hell yes. So, yeah, the trailer went ahead and showed the next steps of the Mandalorian and his baby Yoda. And... yeah, he closes his pod by the sound of blaster fire about to start, so, yeah. Yeah, but Baby Yoda adorableness has just grown exponentially with comedy. Speaking of more Star Wars news, Liam Neeson. Y'all remember Liam Neeson? He was Qui-Gon Jinn, one of the most underrated characters in Star Wars, in my opinion, that finally got a big push. But Liam Neeson defends the Phantom Menace and actually praises, Jar Jar Binks' actor Admin Best, and said this, let's see, I'm very proud of the film. I got to be a Jedi. I got to play with those wonderful lightsabers and stuff. It was terrific. I liked the movie. It really hurt his career, said it Best, Admin Best. And I had to say, when I was making the film, he was probably one of the funniest and talented guys I have ever worked with. I remember calling my old ex-agent, I think I just worked with the new Eddie Murphy. I still believe that. Truly, he had all of his in stitches, including George Lucas, but I liked the movie. So, yeah, and he recently returned to the Star Wars universe with the Disney Plus game show Jedi Temple Challenge, and remarkably, some public opinion on the prequels have swayed and mellowed over time, because if I had to guess, everyone pretty much didn't like the sequel trilogies. Yeah. But... Liam Neeson's alright with it. I like The Phantom Menace. Sue me for having a different opinion on that. But I like the prequels. I started Star Wars with the prequels. If I never had the prequels in my life, I probably would look at Star Wars like I look at Star Trek. Oh, it's something I could be interested in. Let's move on to something else. I'm not going to watch it right now. I'll probably wait in like 10 years and never get to it. I think the only Star Trek related project I ever watched was Wrath of Khan. And that wasn't even because it was a Star Trek movie. It's just awesome. So, yeah. Yeah, so I thank the prequels for existing. I like the ideas they had in there. It probably could have should have had a better writer, or had George Lucas gotten help and not have everyone kiss up to him. It probably would have been a great masterpiece of prequels, more so in terms of quality, but it's more like it's flawed, but I still like it. So, let's move on to the gaming industry. EA will rebrand Origin as its streamlined services. Origin will soon just be the EA desktop app, as the company seeks to create a frictionless experience for players. Yeah, that seeing is believing, EA. The new EA app, which will replace Origin, will let users sign up to EA Play or to EA Play Pro, and will also carry the store that is currently featured on the Origin app. VentureBeat has a quote from EA Senior Vice President Michael Blank. That's actually his last name. Okay. On the change. The EA desktop app is being designed to deliver frictionless and societally connected experience that is faster for players to get into their games. It's designed to be faster to find and download and launch their games than before. This move aligns to the strategy, which is to help players play our games more efficiently. We have these different names. The reality is that they all align to the same objective, which is to help our players play. NFL, can you make that work? I thought so. He also said that EA is taking things like crossplay and cross-save more seriously. Can you focus on making NFL work? No? Okay. If you're delivering a similar game experience across multiple different platform devices, it's important to be able to let those players play together. Can we still get EA NFL working? No? Okay. Blank. Yeah, Michael Blank. What? That's his weird last name. So, like, I hope this is an error on the site I'm on, GameSpot. But the blanks. Can you really imagine anyone calling themselves, "Hey, my name is insert name here blank," and people would probably be like, "Okay, what's your last name?" "It's blank." "Yeah, we know you're blanking it out. What's your last name?" Like, I'm just confused more than anything. But yeah, Man of NFL. Oh god. Oh god. EA's not gonna lose the license, unfortunately, because EA made 21%, 12% more than its launch date, or 21%. I could be wrong, but Angry Joe's pissed, so go to his stuff to check out that. But yeah, EA made their EA Play name in around August, and it's becoming part of the Xbox Game Pass, making Microsoft's subscription service even stronger than before and more enticing. Because now, why buy one of each when you can have both for the same price? So, yeah, pretty awesome. But EA, can you fix the games first, then do all this cool interconnective stuff? If so, then we'll be in business. So, Facebook Gaming has just licensed a bunch of music for its streamers. If you want to play big name music while you stream games, Facebook just became your best option. Earlier this year, a wave of DMCA copyright claims hit Twitch creators who played copyrighted music in their streams, leading to Twitch to recommend streamers not to play copyrighted music at all. Facebook Gaming, the social media giant's Twitch competitor, has taken a different approach to the issue, announcing it worked out licensing agreements with the industry so streamers can play copyrighted music. The move is the first in the gaming streaming industry, and one creators had expected or at least requested from the Amazon-owned Twitch. We're partnering with the music industry to open up a vast catalog of popular music for Facebook gaming partners to play while live streaming games. Our work with music labels, publishers, and societies, including Universal Music, Warner Music, Sony Music, Cobalt Music, BMG Publishing, Merlin, and many partners, means you'll be able to include a vast amount of music across a variety of genres. Current pop hits, dance floor beats, hip-hops, 80s classic, and much more. At the moment, the license is only current for Facebook streaming partners, though the announcement says it's working on opening up to its less level up creators, a lower tier similar to Twitch affiliate program. For partners who are eligible, the announcement means that they can stream their own playlists for their own music players of choice, though the intricacies of copyright mean Facebook can't actually say what songs are and aren't licensed. So it warns that creators may still get taken down notices as for the odd song or two that isn't covered. Facebook says that its music rights cover more than 90 countries, though it hasn't yet listed what countries those are, or though the US is probably safe. Still, the music license program suddenly makes Facebook a far more attractive platform for game streamers who miss jamming to their favorite songs on stream. Big deal for a lot of people who been wanting to play music in the background and everything. Yeah, so yeah, that's been a thing on YouTube. Like, I could probably try background music, but it says they try to find anything and anything to try and have an excuse to copyright claim videos. I'm just left. Why even try on that? So I just use static music at best. Like, I still recall getting copyright claimed over the freaking poster to John Wick in a 2-minute video. I fought that once, so thank God for that. Fucking picture where I'm talking. But yeah, Facebook's trying to make it much easier, though they have a lot of issues to work out with their social networking stuff. So, Take-Two CEO announced a while back that the upcoming NBA 2K21 for the PS5 and Xbox Series X edition will cost $70, which is $10 above normal price of current gen games. Take-Two CEO has now defended the price increase to Protocol, pointing to the ballooning cost of game development. He remarked that he doesn't expect consumers to care about the rising development costs, but outside of that, he argued that the NBA 2K series has expanded its own value proposition by virtue of making the game more robust. You pay gambling! Gambling! The bottom line is, we haven't seen a frontline price increase for nearly 15 years, and production increases have gone up from 200 to 300. Okay, that might be true and everything, but more to the point, since no one really cares about what your production costs are or what consumers be able to do with the product, has completely changed. The newer NBA 2K games are much, much bigger in terms of what they offer, he said. As such, the warrants a price increase, he added. NBA 2K also offers the ability to pay for various microtransactions because bullshit, fuck you, give us your money. But said the base game is compelling enough to warrant a more expensive sticker price. We deliver a much, much bigger game for $60 or $70 than we delivered for 10 years ago. The opportunity to spend more money online is completely optional, and it's not a free-to-play title. It's completely, incredibly robust experience, even if you never spend another penny after your initial purchase. Bullshit. According to the developers, the PS5 and Xbox Series X editions of the basketball sim is a new game built from the ground up. The advancements are so significant that it would be like comparing Halo 4 to 5, the studio said. Yeah, no. NBA 2K21 is not the only upcoming game charging the extra $10 price. Activision will offer a cross-gen bundle for the Xbox for the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War game that gets you the current and new gen titles for the $70. So at least you're getting 2 games of 2 generations, though at this same point you might as well just make a separate version. But who knows? But like, I get that everyone believed that it would increase to an additional $10. Though some people, like, I think Jim Sterling talked about this. It's been a while when I last saw his video, but I think he did say he would be all for a price increase to 70 or, and this might be pushing it, 80 if it meant microtransactions just gets lesser use out of everything, like it's less around. But that's not gonna happen. It's too lucrative of a deal for them. So good luck with that, Jim. Keep up the good fight. So on the upside stuff, let's talk about some things that I don't really have interest in, but probably people want to know. Square Enix announces special Nier events for this month. The 2 events will be provided the latest updates on the Nier franchise, including the upcoming Nier Replicant upgrade and the Nier Reincarnation mobile game. Let's see. He's known for doing things his own way in the upcoming events. Several staffers known for working on Yoko will attend the event, including Yosuke Sato, and talking about more Nier stuff. This will offer updates to Nier Automata, Reincarnation, which is an upcoming mobile game, which ties with the rest of the series, because essential tie-in material and a mobile game is great marketing. Great marketing! Over the past few months, Yoko has released a mobile game titled Xeno Alice, as well as designed some guest content for Final Fantasy XIV. If you still haven't played Automata, it came to Xbox Game Pass back in April. The game sold more than 4.5 million copies, near the latest Nier, despite its predecessor being a fairly niche title. If we know Yoko Taro, however, the sequel won't be a direct continuation of any of the previous game's events. It earned a 9 out of 10 for GameSpot. Okay. So you know that. Take-Two CEO doesn't think cloud gaming is the future. Well, I kind of agree with that. I hope it isn't, because they could just turn it off and people could hack it. If we rely more on it, that makes the challenge more enticing. So I'm still all for local gaming stuff, but he probably has a different reason. He says it's not a bad thing. It's just reluctancy to believe the crowd's going to make a big dent in the industry income. And they also talk about the sales of Grand Theft Auto 5 and the 32 million of Red Dead Redemption. So, yeah. I don't think... Like, the only one that's really been getting some notoriety is Xbox xCloud. I forgot PlayStation Now is a thing. GeForce I forgot about. Google Stadia, did anyone even care about that now? So yeah, there's still a number of hurdles to overcome before cloud gaming can become the norm. So good luck with that. Also in movie news, the upcoming Snyder Cut of the Justice League is getting a new title because the Snyder Cut was too much of a sale. Recent posters came out regarding fandom, and it was announced that the new poster revealed the title to be Justice League: The Director's Cut, while the movie has been informally known as the Snyder Cut by fans who have petitioned it. It was titled Zack Snyder's Justice League when it was first announced in May. Just call it the Snyder Cut. It can't be a director's cut because Joss Whedon's not helming the project. But wouldn't it be calling it the Snyder Cut be more, more marketable? Because fans called it the Snyder Cut for years, and HBO Max promoted us the Snyder Cut. Wouldn't it make sense to just call it the Snyder Cut because it would sell? Like, it just makes sense. Like, it'd be like if you took out Star Wars and just said, oh, let's call it The Force Awakens. Like, it's just a big part of the identity. So, yeah, very confused. Let's take a look at the comments and whatnot. Let's see. It won't matter. It won't make a better movie. You think Lucas saved Star Wars with all his recuts? Let's see. Better than Disney's. Okay, yeah, there's no progress. Okay, the comments are still toxic. Okay, moving on. Fortnite RTX and DLSS features coming to PC on the 17th, so this video will be late and whatnot, but it's getting graphical upgrades this week. The new mode will launch on Fortnite with RTX, and I don't know the full details. I'm not a Fortnite person. I tried it, I hated it, and I will never talk about it ever again. Unless we talk about more of the culture stick it did. Walmart Plus launches today, how it stacks up against Amazon Prime. So they're operating their own subscription delivery service with the same day delivery to compete with Amazon Prime. So there's a comparison chart on GameSpot they made. So the cost of Amazon Prime is $119 a year. Walmart is $98 a year. Delivery, same day to 2 day. Walmart Plus, same day. Eligible products, 3 million. Walmart Plus, 160,000. Release day delivery, yes. Streaming service, yes, no for Walmart Plus. Free games, yes. Walmart, no. Free trial, 30 days. Walmart, 15. Availability, 17 countries. US only for Walmart Plus. So, yeah, there's free trials for each of them, but, yeah, you're going to have to really make the judgment for yourself. I'm trying to go over this as much as I can. But, yeah, I'll just stick with Amazon Prime for the most part. I have no interest in the Walmart stuff. So Fortnite players can fly with the Star Wars X-Wing now as part of the promotion of Star Wars Squadron, so that gives them an unfair advantage. So, wait, is this a glider? Oh, okay. I was worried that they were gonna, like, add boo boo and just blow up people. Though, the last time I heard about Star Wars and Star Wars with Fortnite was essential material for the Rise of Skywalker. Palpatine's return in Fortnite. When you make essential tie-in material for a movie that's supposed to be the final chapter, so to speak, you're kind of doing it wrong, in my opinion. So, Immortals Phoenix Rising may owe name change to dispute with Monster Energy. Legal documents show that Monster filed a dispute with Ubisoft's trademark just before the company began referring it to the game formerly known as Gods and Monsters. Yeah, I was like, wait, they changed the name? And I was thinking to myself, so So Monster, the drink, Monster Energy owns the name Monster. It, I, how would it be trademark confusion due to its own brand licensing deals in video games? And yeah, Ubisoft pointed out rebutting the claim by pointing out that the word monster was in other trademarks. But then Ubisoft just publicly called the game, formerly known as Gods and Monsters, after a demo leaked on Stadia, because everyone cares about that. Like, they say they wanted to put more emphasis, but like, Monster now has a monopoly for the term. Is that, I'm not a legal expert, so I probably fail at this, but oh yeah, this is so confusing. So Monster Energy drinks beat Ubisoft in trademark dispute. Gotcha. Cyberpunk action game Ghost Runner releases on October 27th, a hack and slasher that will also have an updated demo on September 29th. I'm actually curious about this game. I really am. I did look at some images. It does look kind of cool, but I'll probably wait and see it. But we'll look for an updated Steam demo. Will be released on September 29th, so I probably will look around on that when it comes out and probably make a video playing it. So that's all there is to it on that. Rocket League going free to play September 23rd with a Fortnite crossover. Boo! Why is Fortnite so popular? So, yeah, Rocket League is going to free to play. I thought it was going to be for a day at least, but oh god. So, like, I've heard Rocket League, I've seen clips, I've seen the insanity it brings, but I'm just not interested. I might try it out since it's gonna go free to play, but at the same time, it's Fortnite, and I hate that. But I digress. Overall, also on the Overwatch side of things, Tracer has a comic book event now live on all platforms for free. It seems. A new Tracer event now live in Overwatch on Nintendo Switch, PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One from now until September 28th. You can earn a new Tracer skin by participating and more by participating in matches. The title Tracer's Comic Challenge, the event that gives you 2 weeks to earn a total of 9 rewards, winning 3 matches in competitive play, arcade, and quick play. Nets you a player icon. Similarly, 6 wins in either mode rewards you with a spray. 9 wins gives you an epic comic book Tracer skin. And it also coincides with a recent comic that just launched called London Calling. Blizzard partnered with Dark Horse Comics to release the series illustrated by Babs Tarr, Batgirl, and written by Makoto Tamaki. Skim and X-23, which focuses on a young Tracer as she navigates London streets. There are 5 issues in total, each one releasing on a monthly basis. The first one available to read right now. Physical editions of London Calling will be launched in the coming months. So I checked out the comic. It looks pretty good. The artwork's a little cartoonish, but it's being made free and it's going to be made. It's being made and whatnot by Dark Horse, and I'm not 100% certain of the artwork a little bit, but Babs Tarr's Batgirl, I don't recall that. I haven't read Batgirl in a while. So, besides the Joker War tie-ins that doesn't have the artist, so I'll have to check that out. But Overwatch, I kind of forgot about Overwatch 2 was still being a thing. They haven't talked about it in so long, I just forgot about it. Meanwhile, on the entertainment industry side of things, CBS All Access is to rebrand itself as Paramount Plus. New shows announced. Paramount Plus will bring together existing CBS All Access content from shows from Paramount's vault, such as those produced by BET, CBS, Comedy Central, MTV, and Nickelodeon. In addition, the company is developing several new shows, including a reboot of the comedy The Game, a CIA drama from Cisco writer Taylor Sheridan titled Lioness and the Offer, a 10-part limited series about the production of the classic movie The Godfather. In a statement, Viacom CBS President and CEO Bob Bisk said Paramount is an iconic and storied brand beloved by consumers all over the world and is synonymous with the quality and integrity and world-class storytelling. With Paramount Plus, we're excited to establish one global streaming brand in the broad pay system segment that will draw on the steer breadth and depth of the Viacom CBS portfolio to offer an extraordinary collection of content for everyone to enjoy. CBS Plus All Access has launched back in 2014. It's currently the home of Star Trek, which shows as Discovery, Picard, and Lower Depths. Other high-profile CBS All Access series include the reboot of The Twilight Zone and the upcoming adaptation of Stephen King's The Stand once again. So, yeah, I don't subscribe to it. I have bought some of the Blu-ray shows, like the Star Trek Discovery, but I haven't finished watching them yet. I plan to start Twilight Zone hopefully soon, but yeah, I'm just like, so why doesn't HBO Max do that with DC Universe? Just rebrand it and merge everything from the DC Universe stuff into the HBO Max and then have a comic section. They could do that. That would probably work. They can keep the DC Universe as a forum area, and not because I'm part of the forums or anything. So, yeah. But, yeah, I heard this, and I was thinking to myself, so, like, I was wondering why didn't they call it Paramount something in it? But, yeah, clearly Paramount Plus is to take on the Disney Plus machine, and, yeah, it will expand in 2021 to include shows from the Paramount Vault. Let's see what kind of content they bring and everything on that. So, yeah, I'm curious to know where they go with this. Let's see if it can live up to the hype, but Paramount has a lot of reputation on it, so we'll see. Apple Watch Series X, Series 6, and budget-friendly SE version officially announced at the latest Apple show. Announced the Watch Series 6 and a budget-friendly version during its September event. Meanwhile, and as part of this new series of Apple Watch, will run on Watch OS 7, which adds native sleep tracking support and updates like the rebranded fitness app. So, I have a Apple Watch. I don't like using it. I just use it because my mom told me to do it. So, what can you do? So, I have really no opinion about it. Twin Mirror, The Life is Strange as Dev's mind-bending new thriller gets a release date. So, I thought Dot9 was still busy doing the other stuff with Tell Me Why, but they seem to be releasing that very quickly every three to 2 weeks. But Twin Mirror is a genre-defining detective thriller that focuses on the questions of identity, the past, and guilt, and it comes out on December 1st. Stars an investigative journalist named Sandy who returns to his rural hometown of Basswood, Virginia due to the death of a close friend. Players navigate through the real world in Sam's mind palace to gather clues, develop theories, and make decisions about the direction of their investigation. The game seems to be highly reminiscent of the landmark cinematic detective game Heavy Rain, though it has stated that the game lacks any supernatural elements and will be the studio's first self-published game. Twin Mirror was previously announced as an episodic game, but that's no longer the case. Tell Me Why is a narrative adventure game aimed that stars a transgendered man living in a community of indigenous people. So, I'm curious to know about this. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a full game and not like a episodic game. Curious to know where this goes and the Mind Palace thing they do. They say it's not supernatural, so that might be more like a psychological death thriller kind of vibe since they did say that. So, I'm curious about this game. I probably might check it out. Apple announces 2 new iPads, don't care, and the iOS 14 launches on Wednesday, September 16th. So, get ready, people, for the insanity of downloading the update. Moving on! PS5 news. Sony denies launch supply of consoles has been reduced. So, reportedly encountered production yields issues that would have seen it ship 11 million consoles for launch instead of 15 million. Bloomberg reported this thing, but Sony has since came out and denied this. There have been no changes for its production plans for the next-gen PS5 console. So, yeah, I don't know what the full... while we do not know the details and whatnot, release details due to the detail of the manufacturing. The information provided by Bloomberg is false. We have not changed the production number for PlayStation 5 since the start of mass production. The latter half of the statement suggests there could have been changes of plans before mass production began, but it seems that nothing that during that process prompted Sony to scale back its expectations. So, yeah, everything kind of worked out on that front. Disney Plus gets an update regarding the She-Hulk series. Writing director Kat Cory is in talks with Marvel and is, according to Deadline, currently in negotiations to direct the pilot and several subsequent episodes of the She-Hulk series for Disney Plus. Kat Corio, it's always also worked on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, will be executive produced for the upcoming series. Marvel has not released a statement, but Rick and Morty's Jessica Gao will reportedly be leading the writers' room, and wrote the famous Pickle Rick episode, and that insanity that happened, and that's created to Comedy Central's corporate in Silicon Valley. She-Hulk, one of the last original characters co-created by the prolific Stan Lee at Marvel, differs from her male cousin counterpart in that when Jennifer Walters hulks out, she maintains her original intelligence and personality, while of course gaining considerable strength. Though, except recently in Marvel Comics, they made her speak in 3 syllables. I think that got ended by Empire. Casting choice has not been revealed yet. There are even rumors yet, but there have been hints that Mark Ruffalo is open to the possibility of reprising his role as Bruce Banner in the Hulk. And there's some talk about having, and earlier this year, Ruffalo stated, there has been some talks of having Banner Hulk show up in She-Hulk. If we come up with something good, that would be really interesting. Right now, that's about it. That's all there is on the table. So it's understandable if they do it, but I'm curious to know what they're going to do, because they have all these other projects that are now delayed due to the COVID virus, and all the plans right now are on hold. Directing's on hold and production's on hold for a lot, so we'll probably see where they go with this. So, what say about escapism? Then having a show that talks about the COVID-19 virus called Social Distance by Netflix. Oh boy, Netflix, you are royally already in trouble enough as it is. I don't know if this will cause a backlash, but I'm after what the disaster Netflix recently went through, I refuse to talk about that certain film, but fuck it. The 8-part limited run drama called Social Distance, which talks about the COVID-19 stuff, launched debuts on October 15th, and according to release, showcases the power of the human spirit in the face of uncertainty and isolation. Okay. How about we go and say this? Humanity sucked. No. Let's go genuine. Humanity sucked at this. We sucked at this. We royally sucked at all this. The rest of the world's trying to move on from it. We're still here with it because everyone in the whole world, everyone in the US was turning into idiocy for some reason. We got the COVID challengers, the COVID parties going on, my religion is being oppressed, even though that somehow doesn't correlate with masks somehow by common freaking sense. And we saw defiance of social distancing protocols for some reason because it's cool. What is the power of the human spirit in this face of uncertainty? We have had disaster after disaster after disaster after disaster this whole year, and we're still dealing with COVID. We got fires brewing in the West Coast. We are screwed, the world is. 2021 better just be a hard freaking reboot. So let's move on from this before I get pissed, or even more so. Apple Arcade is going to be folded into the new, and this doesn't sound Orwellian at all, Apple One. We are one. Who are you? We are one. This will launch this fall, which contains Apple Arcade, Music News Plus, and more. Features 3 different tiers. Apple One will start rolling out this fall with a 30-day free trial for anyone available who isn't subscribed to a service. The individual and family plans will be only available in over 100 countries, while Premier subscription is only available in Australia, Canada, the UK, and the US. Apple Arcade has mostly decided to... Apple Arcade was mostly forgotten about when it launched. And yeah, they're basically saying, do this! If you subscribe to one, you must subscribe to them all! We are one! Apple! We are one! So, yeah, that's basically where they're going with this. So for 15 months, you get a Apple Arcade Music TV and a 50 gigabyte of iCloud storage and what is called the individual plan. Individual plan. There's also a family plan for $20 and a premiere for $30. So yeah, they each include a different level of power, like includes a 200 gigabyte of iCloud storage and the ability to share subscription when mixed up just 6 family members. Meanwhile, Apple One Premiere bundles all the app's Premiere services together, including the newly revealed Fitness Plus and the News Plus, as well as 1 terabyte of cloud storage and the ability to share the plan up to 6 family members. So yeah, we're basically being told do this or die. And lastly, Thor Ragnarok's director, Taika Waititi, I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong, making Rollicking new pirate comedy show. He will produce Our Flag Means Death for HBO Max after he finishes the next 4 movie. So since he's going to work for Warner Bros., that means he's clearly turned traitor. Thor director is set to make a new period comedy show for HBO Max. It's been reported that he's will produce and direct a show titled Our Flag Means Death for Warner Media streaming platform. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the show is based on the life of a real-life man named Stu Bonnet, who in the 18th century was known as the Gentleman Pirate. Bonnet was a wealthy aristocrat on the islands of Barbados, who gave up his previous life to become a pirate. The director will produce Our Flag Means Death alongside showrunner David Jenkins and then direct the pilot episode. In a statement, HBO Max, the head of originals, Sarah Aubrey, a series concept like this jumps off the page and you can instantly envision every moment. David and Takawati's unique take on Bonnet's roll-licking, and misadventures on the high sea is sure to be a thrill and delight audiences everywhere. He will start work after he finishes directing duties for Thor Ragnarok, Thor Love and sequel Thor Love and Thunder. The Marvel movie is currently scheduled to hit theaters in February 2022 and will star Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman and Christian Bale. So Batman has turned traitor for the MCU. The director is also developing 2 animated shows based on Roald Dahl's classic book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for Netflix. Again, the first will reportedly be an adaptation of the book itself, and the second one will focus on the Oompa Loompas, the diminutive creatures who work at Willy Wonka's factory. Sadly, one of his projects is no longer happening. It's his adaptation of Akira. He was the latest director to be attached to the long-in-development live-action version of the manga classic, but in February he admitted he was now unlikely to make it. So, yeah, they wanted to butcher Akira, so good luck with that, Hollywood. Why not have him work on Alita's Battle Angel? People want a sequel to that. But yeah, that's basically it. So, yeah, kind of a weird note to end on. Let's see if there's one more piece of news I could find. Probably crazy at best, but we need to end this on a very conflicting, very horrible news note that will make you pissed off beyond belief. Unless WWE was silent all day, which will surprise me to no end. Let's see. Nothing. Oh, well, here's one last thing about Miro. Miro does not want to fight Pac. Okay, that was the thing. But, let's see. Miro said he's not interested in working with Pac. Pac already tore my bicep. I'm not working with him anymore. I'm done with him. I'm not working with Pac anymore. So it's hard to tell if he was joking or not, but it would be interesting if Pac keeps. If they do a storyline when Pac comes back saying, "I want to fight Miro, the best man," and Miro was like, "No." Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, he also said he doesn't want to talk about WWE anymore, so that's ultimately his choice. So he just had to see one promo to get it off his chest and got with it. So that's about it for the September 15th edition of the Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News Talk. I'm looking forward to trying this daily system out first, and then if that doesn't work, I'll do the weekly format with the super mega colossal cuts. So we'll see how all this works and how I can trick the algorithm if I can somehow to work to my advantage. This was Neo Reality Collective. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to for more, and I'll see you all next time.